Hello everyone and welcome to part 8 of the React series. In part 7 we learned how to manage event using the onClick event as an example. However, most of the time events in React don't work alone. We also need to handle updating data over time. Something on the screen should change when the button is clicked or when other events take place, and it does so when the state changes. So let me introduce state and use state hook. If you are new to my channel, please do subscribe, press the bell icon to get all the notifications. Let's get started. First, let me explain what is state. State is a simple JavaScript object that holds information about the output data. When the state changes, the component render according to the new state. Because regular variables can't change or update their values, you must use state to implement this strategy. States allow you to potentially update data and changes are applied when you apply them. Also take note of the fact that state maintains its independence for each function component even after the component had been called many times. We use the stateless and stateFull component to develop a React application. We use the stateless component more frequently than the stateful component throughout the application because it doesn't manage any state. It only outputs data to the screen. No updates or data changes occurs and it accepts props. Stateful components are functional components that provide hooks or managing state and data when the user modifies or stores something. I mentioned hooks. So what exactly are hooks? Hooks are React's inbuilt JavaScript functions. Enable the use of the lifecycle method and other capabilities from class-based components in functional-based components. There are many hooks and they all start with the word use. The use state hook is one of the most essential ones and I will introduce it today. Till now, we were sending props to stateless components and rendering the value on the screen. We will now take care of updating use state and handle the data. In the list component, inside our functional component at the top, we will call the use state hook. Import React use curly braces. Inside the curly braces, call use from React. Curly braces must be used when importing the useState hook function from the React library because it is a function. Now we will call it by defining an array destructuring pattern. Let's use const and in the square brackets specify the first value background. This represents the current state and now specify the second value which begin with set followed by repeated name background. So this is set background. This function updates the current value and now declare a state variable after equal to with the syntax use state followed by parenthesis. Use state helps us to create state variable. It will then return an array with two values. You can give it any name that makes sense since it is merely an order. This is a default value of a variable and a function that change the variable initial value without refreshing the entire program. Within parentheses, the initial value can be supplied as an argument depending on what we need. The parameter can be an object, string or number. Empty string like this can be used as the default value if none exists. Here I am going to pass string pink. It's going to our default background color. Now in JSX, I'm going to create button. Here button tag. And this is edit button. I'm also going to supply background color with inline style. So here define style attribute. After equal to sign, specify two curly braces. And inside of them, I'm going to specify background color CSS property. Remember to use camel case, add colon, and the value being the first variable is here we declare in state background. Now if I save it, so when I open the browser, the buttons are pink because the first variable has the default value of pink. Now we are going to update pink background color to yellow. In order to assign the new value, we will call the state updating function inside the function where we want to handle the updating. Let's declare the handle bg update function as a constant arrow function and then call setBackground inside of it. Because it is a function, we will also add parentheses. We will then update the value pink, passing the new value yellow. In browser, you will see our button background is still in pink color. For updating the function now in JSX, we will use the event handler on click on the button. In part 7, I discuss how to handle React events. If you have not already, click the link I have provided in the description below and take a look. Now declare on click an equal to sign and curly braces, and within curly braces specify handle bg update function. So now if I open the browser and click on this button, it will update and change to yellow. You can also use multiple state variables, each of which will update independently. This time I want to change the name. If I click on the button, the same step will be taken to add a new state to useState, which returns two values, the name itself and updating function. That was again declare the destructuring pattern using square brackets, and the first variable is text and the second set text, followed by an equal sign and use state variable. Here I am going to pass the variable name, which is name, because I am going to updating the name, and next declare the arrow function with the function name handle update. And inside of it pass set text with parentheses, and in single quote pass a string, for example gupper. In JSX, replace the name variable with the text variable, and in the on click event pass the handle update function as a value. Now save it and go to the browser. You will see we update the value successfully, and it is only updating the value of the related component. You can also update text and button background at the same time. Just specify inside the handle update. Save it now, and in the browser, when you click the button both at the same time, the name is changed to Gupper and the button is yellow in color. Before ending this video, I also want to talk about the rules of hooks. When using hooks in a React application, you must follow these two guidelines. First, hooks only work in the functional components. Hooks can take the roles of writing classes. And second rule is that hooks should only be called inside of the functions of React components. They should not be called inside the nested or regular JavaScript function. That's all for today's guys. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you viewing and hope you had fun. Please check out the React tutorial playlist if you are new, and I would appreciate your input.